Truth, that's for sure. I love you two together, and now I'm hearing there's one more person who wants to join. So we're actually going to crash this fallback with a surprise edition. Are you ready? Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, what's up? You wanted to get in here?
Well, Fat Joe and Bill Kristol together, now you in trouble. So I wanted to get a part of the action.
Now, what about the Brooklyn Bronx? Is there a Brooklyn Bronx rivalry here, or are you guys all good, Congressman?
No, we're certainly all good. We appreciate what Fat Joe and the Boogie Down Bronx, of course, have meant to the culture and what Joe has meant to hip hop music, both for New York, but across the country and throughout the globe. And of course, Bill Kristol has done a great job speaking truth to power over these last few years while our democracy has been under tremendous threat. So we appreciate this combination and, of course, appreciate you, Ari.
That's nice you say. I mean, Fat Joe, the congressman's right that not to put Bill Kristol on the spot, but he is, when they talk about Trump resistance, he is that rare thing. He's a resistance Republican in 2020 or an ex-Republican, whatever you want to call it.
A few years back, he made the curb. He hit the curb and he came back to realization. And we're happy for that. And, the man's been around politics all his life, Bill Kristol, and he know where he's seen where this was going, and, I believe in 20 years from now, 30 years from now, the president will go down as the president who's crashed the greatest economy and overseen 150 to, God forbid, 200,000 American lives lost. That's just how they're going to view it when it's said and done 20, 30 years from now. I guess Bill Kristol knew this guy wasn't ready for this.
Bill?
Yeah, I think I was right that he shouldn't have become the Republican nominee and shouldn't have become president. And a lot of other people were right about that, too. And he won one election. I do think now it's a serious thing. Congressman Jeffries is doing a great job. I think that Congress really needs to do its best to make things less bad than they would otherwise be. You can't, there's only one president, so there are limits to what Speaker Pelosi and Congressman Jeffries and others can do. But, making sure the election comes off in November in a safe and secure way, that there's money for that, making sure that the economy, we keep it going as well as possible, getting out the public health message. I think that's something that Congress can do a little more, maybe the Biden campaign even, because right now we're getting so little healthy guidance from where we're used to getting it, which is the White House.
Congressman?
Yeah, this is an extraordinary moment, and it requires an extraordinary intervention at the congressional level. We're going to continue to do what's necessary to put everyday Americans first, to put essential workers and displaced workers and low-wage workers and the poor, the sick, the afflicted, the least, the lost, and the left behind first. We would appreciate a different level of presidential leadership, but we're left with what we're left with. And so we're going to try to continue to work in a bipartisan way with our colleagues in the Senate, arrive at common ground, do the right thing for the American people, and then in November, make sure we can have a safe and secure election so we can get past this long national nightmare.
Now, I appreciate all that, the seriousness of that, and yet because this is Fallback Friday, Fat Joe, you heard him, he said do the right thing. That's a Brooklyn reference. He's going back to Spike Lee in Brooklyn. He's doing that to you while you're here. I'm just trying to say, is he pushing back on the Bronx here?
If it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap thing never would be going on. So tell me where you from. Uptown, baby. Uptown, baby.
We gets down, baby. I love it. I love you guys coming together. We gets down, baby. I love it. And all of you are good sport, each and every one of you, to doing what we're trying to do here, which is collaborate, come together, learn from each other. So in that spirit, I love seeing you to end the week. Fat Joe, Bill Kristol, Congressman Jeffries. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.